welcome back to the channel. ETA here, back with another video. And if you're coming across my channel for the first time, please do not make it your last. Click on the subscribe button right away. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Today's video is from Military Rated. Shout out to them. It's titled The Rise of Nordic Air Power, a United Force in the Skies. Military Rated has been giving us top content back to back. So let's just go into this one.
In order to save my voice a little this week, as I'm struggling with an infection, I've enlisted the help of my good Norwegian friend, Magnus, for the voiceover on this video. Last week we looked at how the new Nordic naval force will look like, and today we're exploring how Denmark, Finland, Norway and Sweden are revolutionizing their air forces, creating a formidable, unified front in the skies, and building one of the most numerous modern fighter air forces in Europe, with a much smaller population pool than their competitors. Seeing as he's our resident Norwegian, I'm going to let Magnus start the show today and talk about his home nation.
Thanks, Max. Though it's taken a while to get there, Norway was an early adopter of the F-35 after phasing out their last older F-16s earlier this year. This fifth-generation fighter jet is transforming the Nordic air forces and enabling both Norway and Denmark to donate their older F-16s to Ukraine. In this regard, Norway is leading the pack, having already received 40 of its planned 52 F-35s and being one of the early adopters of the aircraft. These cutting-edge fighters are based at Øland Main Air Station, which has undergone significant upgrades to accommodate the heavy maintenance load that these technological heavyweights require. But Norway isn't stopping there. They've also invested in P-8 Poseidon maritime patrol aircraft to keep a watchful eye over the vast North Atlantic and Arctic regions, and together with Sweden have pushed for an increase in the stationing of an in-flight fueling tanker in the Nordics. It is also...
You guys, I'm really here for this teamwork. I feel like it's only going to yield positive results. Coming together to, oh my god, this is the best decision they've ever made.
Also worth pointing out that Norway's Kongsberg group makes the likely most advanced missile for the F-35, the Joint Strike Missile, and as we speak it is the only missile that you can fit 6 of in the F-35 at the same time, which leaves Norway with a domestic production line that feeds every user of F-35s in the world. Recently news have surfaced of Norway and other early adopters of the F-35 struggling with keeping their jets airborne, so all things considered I think Norway, Finland and Denmark would likely be wise if they also acquired some Gripens from Sweden to offset the heavy maintenance costs on F-35s for patrolling and policing missions. It is likely the most advanced quarterback fighter in the world, but it definitely has its downsides.
Finland is hot on Norway's heels, with plans to acquire 64 F-35s to replace its aging fleet of F-18 Hornets, who should start arriving next year. This move will significantly boost Finland's air combat capabilities, especially considering how Finnish pilots have pushed their current F-18s to the limit. The transition to the F-35 will elevate Finland's air force to a whole new level of technological sophistication and combat readiness. In the fighter pilot scene, few airmen are hailed as highly as the Finnish F-18 pilots, who vastly outrank most other NATO fighter pilots in active flight hours, with some of its veterans surpassing over 1,000 active hours in the Hornets. Again, as with Norway, it is probably wise for Finland to keep some of its F-18s as a backup and cheaper, more reliable alternative for air patrols when they get their F-35 fleet, or alternatively, maybe invest together with Denmark and Norway in a Gripen air policing fleet. In June of this year, Finland invested in 2 new surveillance aircraft to replace its aging Dorniers. These will be delivered by Bombardier and are due to arrive in 2026. Again, as we've spoken about before, I think it would likely have been wiser to go for a Saab surveillance variant in this regard, but Finland probably has a good reason to go for the Bombardier. Denmark, not to be left behind, is also joining the F-35 club. They're set to receive a total of 27 of the F-35. 27 jets might sound like little for Denmark, considering the massive airspace that its jets will have to cover when you account for Greenland and the Faroe Islands, which is why many Danish Air Force veterans have been quite vocal about acquiring a backup to the F-35, something like the Gripen from Sweden or F-A-50 Fighting Eagle from South Korea. Seeing as I think that all the Nordic nations should help Sweden with their in-house fighter program, my choice would be the Gripen. Maintenance, training and support can be done a stone's throw from Denmark with the Gripen, while the FA-50's closest adopter
This is a whole new level of sophistication. What?
will be Poland. Sweden, with its legacy of homemade air power, is taking a different approach. While not adopting the F-35, they're doubling down on their homegrown champion, the Saab JAS 39 Gripen. The Swedish Air Force is upgrading its Gripen C and D models and introducing the cutting-edge Gripen E. With plans for 60 Gripen E, Sweden is ensuring its Air Force remains a force to be reckoned with. The Gripen's ability to operate from dispersed bases, including highways, gives Sweden a unique tactical advantage. Sweden's overall plan seems to be to have 60 or more Model E and another 100 Model C and D, with updated electronics in backup, making it the second largest fighter air force per capita in NATO, only beaten to the top by the Greek, who have a lot of older Phantoms and Mirages still active. But it's not just about the fighter jets. Complementing their fighter fleet, Sweden is also upgrading its already impressive surveillance fleet with the Saab GlobalEye aircraft, providing crucial surveillance and control capabilities. In fact, Sweden has recently demonstrated its commitment to regional security by donating 2 of their older AWACS aircraft to Ukraine, highlighting the system's effectiveness with operating with any allied aircraft, and Sweden's role in supporting allied nations. Speaking of cooperation, let's talk about how these air forces are coming together. The Nordic countries have established the Nordic Defense Cooperation, or NORDEFCO framework, which includes regular joint exercises and training. By combining the stealth and advanced sensor capabilities of the F-35 with the electronic warfare prowess and meteor missile system of the Gripen, this coalition aims to create a formidable aerial force. The F-35, with its sophisticated sensors and connectivity, will serve as the quarterback in the skies, capable of detecting threats at great distances and coordinating complex missions. Its ability to gather and distribute critical battlefield information enhances the effectiveness of all participating aircraft, including the Gripens, who in of themselves are essentially really advanced battlefield computers, which can engage targets given to it by other entities without turning on its radar. On the other hand, the Gripen's strengths in electronic warfare allow it to disrupt enemy radar and communications, effectively blinding and confusing adversaries while protecting allied forces. Additionally, the Gripen's integration of the meteor missile, known for its long range and precision, complements the F-35's strike capabilities, ensuring air dominance in engagements. This synergistic approach not only maximizes the strength of both aircraft, but also significantly enhances the strategic flexibility and defensive capabilities of the Nordic nations. The result is a more robust, responsive, and technologically advanced air defense posture, capable of safeguarding the skies over the Nordic region against evolving threats. The concept of operating as one goes beyond just exercises. The Nordic countries are working on establishing a unified air policing network, allowing them to respond collectively to any incursions into Nordic airspace. This includes shared early warning systems and coordinated quick reaction alert procedures. Key to this unified approach are the strategic air bases spread across the Nordic region. In Norway, Evenes Air Station in the north and Åland in the central part of the country serve as the main hubs for F-35 operations. Finland's Rovaniemi Air Base, located near the Arctic Circle, plays a crucial role in securing the northern flank. In Sweden, Luleå-Kallax Air Base in the north and Ronneby Air Base in the south.
You guys, it's the strategic position of everything that is even the most mind-blowing thing for me. Guys, seeing the way other countries relate with each other around the world, to see the way these Nordic countries are so united and really interested in making things work. This is so impressive.
Are vital for Gripen operations. Denmark's Skrydstrup Air Base will be the home of their F-35 fleet. Denmark's Skrydstrup Air Base will be the home of their F-35 fleet. These bases are undergoing significant upgrades to support the new aircraft and enhance their capability to host allied forces. Hardened aircraft shelters, improved runways, and advanced maintenance facilities are being constructed to ensure the Nordic air forces can operate effectively in any condition. It is also worth pointing out that Finland will likely adopt a much more dispersed airbase tactic than the other three, and that Denmark is also likely going to deploy some aircraft to the now renamed Thule Air Base in Greenland. But aircraft and bases are nothing without the people who operate them. All Nordic countries are increasing their Air Force personnel numbers. Norway, for example, is looking to add about 500 new positions to support its F-35 and P-8 fleets. Finland is also boosting its ranks, with plans to increase its Air Force personnel by around 600 over the next few years. Sweden and Denmark are following suit, recognizing that advanced aircraft require more specialized technicians and support staff. Training is also getting a major boost. The Nordic countries are investing heavily in advanced simulators and virtual reality training systems. These allow pilots to train for complex scenarios without the wear and tear and cost of actual flight hours. One of the most exciting developments is the creation of a Nordic fighter pilot school. This joint initiative will see pilots from all Nordic countries training together, fostering a shared tactical culture and deepening integration between the air forces. It's a clear sign that the future of Nordic air power is unified and collaborative. But it's not just about the fighter pilots. The Nordic air forces are also focusing on specializations like electronic warfare, space operations, and unmanned aerial systems. Sweden, for instance, is developing its own high-altitude pseudo-satellite program, which could revolutionize surveillance and communication capabilities in the high north. So how does the Nordic Air Force stack up against its competitors? Well, as we discussed previously in my Nordic Air Force operational quantities video, the Nordics will by all accounts have one of Europe's largest, most advanced air forces. Depending a bit on what Sweden and Finland does with their older Gripens and F-18 fleets, we could be looking at a number around 300, compared to countries who are double and even close to triple in size. That is a number which, quite frankly, should make people stand up and listen. The Nordic Air Force will be one of the largest, most advanced European NATO fighter forces. And even a country like Russia only has about an estimated 500 modern aircraft made after 2000 that are operational. As we wrap up our tour of the Nordic skies, it's clear that we're witnessing a transformation. The Nordic Air Forces are not just upgrading their equipment, they're reimagining what air power means in the 21st century. By combining cutting-edge technology with deep cooperation, they're creating an integrated air defense network that's far more capable than the sum of its parts. The message is clear. The Nordic countries are serious about air power. With their upgraded fleets, modernized bases, and commitment to joint operations, they're positioning themselves as a formidable air power bloc within NATO and beyond. As tensions in the Arctic and Baltic regions continue to simmer, the Nordic air forces stand ready to defend their skies and project power when needed. The message is clear. The Nordic countries are serious about air power. With their upgraded fleets, modernized bases, and commitment to joint operations, they're positioning themselves as a formidable air power bloc within NATO and beyond. As tensions in the Arctic and Baltic regions continue to simmer, the Nordic air forces stand ready to defend their skies and project power when needed. I'd love to hear your feedback, so please let me know in the comments below.
Whoa, guys, it's so clear that the Nordic countries are extremely serious about their air power. Guys, I've never seen this level of sophistication before. They are so intentional and strategic about positioning everything in the way that it's going to come out positive results. This is so beautiful. Shout out to the Nordic countries for teaming up. I'm all for this teamwork. Guys, two heads are better than one. And then four heads. Great, great, great. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Tell me anything more that you'd like us to know. Give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, you can just take 1 second out of your time to do that. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.